Today's message from the Morning Man is called, What Do You Know? And it'll be available on social media later. But let's get started. Now, for those of you who never experienced the old O-level and A-level education system in Ghana, the way it worked was that you would enter secondary school at Form 1, you'd write your O-levels at Form 5. If you were successful, you would then go to 6th form, which comprised lower 6 and upper 6. That's 7 years of secondary education, often in the same school. Now, you could either be an arts student, a business student, or a science student. That was a decision you would have to make at the end of Form 3. Now, in the Yankson household, the expectation was that I would become a science student. In fact, for the majority of the first 3 years in secondary school, I fully expected to be a science student too. If all changed, then it changed in Form 3, when Brother Mike walked into our classroom. Brother Mike was a Catholic functionary of some sort. I never quite fully understood the difference between a father and a brother, but well, he was the latter. He was also our maths teacher. Now, there was something quietly menacing about Brother Mike. He was very soft-spoken and often had a half smile on his face, but there was something about his slow, calculated movements and his piercing glare that just terrified me. Now, I'll never forget our first maths class. He didn't write his name on the board or introduce himself to us. He didn't do a roll call or ask us what we had learned so far. No. After strolling in at his usual measured pace and staring directly at each and every one of us in turn, he simply sat down at the teacher's desk, took off his glasses, breathed on them, took out a handkerchief, wiped his breath off the lenses, and said 3 words. Mathematics is hard. He let that marinate for a few seconds before he added, not all of you can do it. I know most of you want to do science. I also know most of you will fail maths. So most of you will not be doing science. Long story short, I became an arts student. Now, my father's big dream was for me to become a doctor. That's why he wanted me to do science. You know, as his only son, he had hoped that I would pursue that noble profession that he had been forced to sidestep because of his fear of blood. Don't laugh. But as it turned out, I sidestepped the noble profession because of my fear of maths. Okay, let's be fair to Brother Mike. I think he was trying to focus our minds, not scare us. But the way he spoke just left me with the impression that mathematics was a superpower, a repository of privileged information, a secret language that only a chosen few would ever be blessed with the ability to discern. It made me feel dumb. And I don't like feeling dumb. So I avoided it altogether. Now, my dear friends, I'm sure we have all come across knowledgeable people who guard their knowledge jealously. They're always sure to remind you of the fact that they know and you don't. Doctors who listen to your symptoms and then scribble a prescription in handwriting that you can't read, hand it to you without a word, and turn to their next patient. Mechanics who peer into your bonnet, make some disapproving sounds, wag their heads from left to right, and then declare, Madam, don't worry, Mami, 850 na me yamao. Preachers and often false prophets who tease you with tantalizing details of dreams and revelations, but declare that they can't give you the full details. And then after you sow a seed, they speak rapidly in tongues for a minute and a half, tap you rudely on the forehead, and declare that you are saved. It's almost as if these people want their work to be like a magic trick to us. Poof, and the job is done. Why can't a doctor tell us what is actually happening in our body? What is causing us to be ill? Why can't a mechanic explain the fault, tell us how it happened so that we can prevent it in the future? Why can't the pastor explain his revelations to us so that we can pray over them too? Surely, the more people pray for the same thing, the better chance the prayer gets answered. Anna? So, for those of us who know and want the world to know that we know, but won't tell them how we know, my question to you is, why do you think God gave you that knowledge? Is it so you can keep it to yourself? I doubt it. So just remember, every time you use your knowledge to exclude others, you are physically blocking God's will from being done. And that's a wrong move. So let's all use knowledge the way it was intended. Let's use it inclusively. Let's share what we know. Let's encourage others to learn from us. Yes, we worked hard to learn it, but if we managed it, then that should encourage others, not discourage them. You understand? Let's develop an appetite for training and mentoring the next generation. After all, if we teach nobody the things that we know, then we leave nothing to prove that we existed. My name is Kojo Yankson, and I'm grateful for these daily opportunities God gives us to share what we know on the AM show. Good morning, Ghana.
Well, Kojo Yankson. Good morning to you too. No wonder you never ventured into men's gold. You fear mass figures.
What has this got to do with men's gold?
Well, just about 10 minutes past 6. Another figure. Kojo Yankson. It's true mass.
I won't lie.
Well, the news is coming up in the next 2 minutes. Another mass. But reading the news is in English. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.